This is my 18-month update to Korean immersion learning. In this video, I will mention my stats, which is my hours and words tracked, how I immerse, my ability, and content recommendations. My immersion hours. I try to focus on natural speaking content, which is the top 4 that you see, and you can pause it if you would like to see the stats. My words tracked. With my suspended cards, a lot of the time, I actually do know the word in the sentence, but I suspended it because the sentence wasn't I+1. My calculations in my other videos, for the amount of words I've done, I minus the suspended from the total. But I feel now it's better for me to include the suspended because of the reason I just mentioned, and instead of me saying this is how many Anki cards I have currently, I think it's better for me to say this is how many Anki cards I've put into my immersion or into my Anki within 18 months. How I immerse. For active immersion, my definition of active immersion is doing nothing but giving my full attention to the content I'm watching. No subtitles, and I try to focus as much as possible. And again, I try to focus on natural speaking content. Passive immersion. My definition of passive immersion is just listening, either through my earphones or radio. I try to do it when I'm exercising or in the car on the radio. What has worked pretty well for me is on YouTube, when the video is like 30 minutes plus and meets my requirement for what is worthy for me to passive immerse in, I put it into a passive immersion playlist on YouTube. Live streams I feel have been the best because when they're like 3 hours plus, they last a decent amount of time. And recently I've downloaded shows on Netflix and then I've passive immersed in them, which is also great. For Anki, this is an updated version of how I try to do my Anki cards. So I try to do them on the treadmill, when I'm cooking if I can, and at work. I try to do Anki when I'm doing something else so it doesn't take up my time for immersion, for active immersion. Sentence mining, I try to mine shows that I've watched. I mainly use YouTube and Netflix. For YouTube, I normally generate subs with the Migaku feature. And for Netflix, I only really do it I've only done it when the show offers subs. And I also watch stuff when I eat, but my focus is 0 because I'm hungry. My ability. From the very beginning of starting this journey, I knew it was going to take a lot of hours to reach the level I want to reach. But I believe it is almost impossible to give a very specific, detailed explanation on how good I am in the language. So I don't want to try and do that because I feel it will overcomplicate things, and there are still many days where my ability fluctuates between me being happy and sad about my ability. But here are 3 videos within these 6 months that I remember enjoying a lot. So with the fish game one, I watched this nearer its release date, which was about 5 months ago. And one thing I remember is me and the girl had the same reaction at the end of the game because it was a weird ass game. With the radio show, when they were doing the radio show bit, like reading the script and stuff, I didn't have a clue what they were saying. 0, nothing. But when they went back to talking to each other, that's the bit I enjoyed. With the podcast, this is just one of the latest podcasts from UJ Sock's channel that I remember my real laugh came out at one bit, and I was just little laughs throughout the podcast. And what I mean by enjoying it, I'm going to try and explain. I mean, I barely even know myself, but my real laugh could have came out. There was just more laughs than usual and more facial expressions were going on. Content recommendations. So I want to try something out. Instead of me just saying this show was good, this show was funny, kind of giving boring reasonings and kind of the same reasons for why I liked each show. Within these 6 months, I've started to make a table for all the shows I've watched, and I wanted to see if this is more helpful for you guys. Each recommendation will have the members / the cast of the show, a summary of what the show is about. Some of the summary are my own, and some are help from ChatGPT. With ChatGPT ones, I've read through each one, so I agreed with it, and sometimes tweaked it a bit here and there, just in case he says something that I didn't agree with. So with them, I didn't just ask ChatGPT, oh, can you make a summary? Didn't read it, copied and paste, put it as a summary, and it was done. I made sure, read through each one, and yeah. And also I've put the streaming service that I watched the show on. But bear in mind, some of the streaming services, some of the services that I watched the show on may have been taken down now for some reason. But if that is the case, you may have to try and find it somewhere else. And then there'll just be some extra little bits about each show. Very short again. That is my 18-month update. I plan to continue doing what I'm doing until the 2-year mark. But then from there, actually, I'll let 2-year me explain, because my thoughts do change a lot. But yeah, I will let 2-year Taze me explain, and that's it. I'll see you hopefully for the 2-year one.